Hi everyone, I welcome you all on my YouTube channel. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel for interview related videos. So I basically make videos related to R2R, P2P and US tax. So if you are new to the channel and wanted to prepare for your interview, this is the place you should come for. And now, before any further ado, we will start the interview questions related to US sales and use tax. And if you wanted to go for US taxation role, you must watch this video till the end to understand what kind of questions the interviewer wants to ask to you and know your knowledge. So let's get into the video. And I have made many posts, so you can go through my channel and see all the contents, and it's free. There's nothing like all the videos and all the content is available. You can just go and click and read, give it a read. So this is the post which I have made 4 days back. Interview question and answer of US sales and use tax. First question we have is, what is sales tax? So first, this is the question which can be asked to a person who has no experience or who has 1 to 2 or 3 to 4 years of experience. So first question is, what is sales tax? So basically, sales tax is the consumption tax imposed by the government on selling goods and services. It is usually calculated as a percentage of the purchase price and is collected by the seller at the point of sale. So whenever you make the sale to the customer, the seller has to collect the tax from the customer, and the responsibility is of the seller to remit that tax to the government, to the department, to the authority. In US, we basically call the government as for sales tax DOR, that is Department of Revenue, or you can also call it state authorities. Now we have second question, what is use tax? Use tax is a tax on the use, storage or consumption of goods or services in a state where the goods service were not purchased. It is designed to complement sales tax and is often self-assessed by the purchaser when sales tax has not been paid. So in simple words, I will just tell you what is use tax. When you do not pay this tax on sales tax, then in that case you must pay use tax. Use tax is basically consumption tax when the seller is not able to um, take the taxes from the customer. In that case, the purchaser has to calculate all the taxes and assess the value of taxable goods. Then he has to pay the tax on that. So that comes under use tax. Both are different, and use tax is self-assessed, but in sales tax, the seller calculates when he make the sales. Now we have third question, how does use tax differ from sales tax? So I've just explained to you, but we will read it again and try to understand the concept. Sales tax is collected by the seller at the time of purchase, while use tax is paid by the purchaser when sales tax has not been collected. Use tax apply to purchases made out of state and used in state, ensuring that tax is paid regardless of the point of sale. Now we have fourth question. Can you explain the concept of nexus concerning sales and use tax? So in US we have nexus to determine that whether we have to pay the tax to these authorities or not. So nexus is basically a legal term that determines business has sufficient physical and economic presence in a state to require to collect and remit sales tax. Factor creating nexus including having a physical location, employee, inventory, or substantial sales in the state. So I'll just give you a few examples. Few of the states tells that if your sale has more than 200 lakh dollar, then you have to pay tax to the state authority. So that is a nexus. And then nexus is also different types. It can be physical nexus, economic nexus, or there is also one another term which has famously known is market facilitator. Like these days we use eBay, Shopify, Amazon. So this also comes under nexus. So you have to check whether your business comes under the nexus or not, then you have to pay the tax. So you should know the concept of nexus if you're going for the interview. Now we have the question, what is resale certificate and how it is used? So let's try to understand what is resale. Resale is basically when you are selling that good, and that is going to be like you have purchased some good and that you will resale. So for that you have to have a resale certificate. Resale document is a document that allow business to purchase goods tax free when the goods are intended for the resale. The buyer provides the certificate to the seller, certify that the purchase is for resale purpose and he is not the end consumer, which I'm adding this line that the seller does not charge sales tax. So he is not using that goods, hence there should not be any tax that apply to him, because he is using in resale activity. He has purchased some good, now he is going to resell that good. So that shouldn't be, like he should not pay tax on that. For that every state authority has their resale certificate, so we have to do the documentation, then we can be exempt from sales tax. Now we have sixth question, what are exempt sale and can you provide some example? So exempt sales are basically which are not subject to the sales tax or use tax under the state law. That can be a few of the example I can give you, that there are some NGOs which are exempt. There are some food item essential commodities that are exempt, because these are like essential things and the government doesn't want to impose tax on that, so every individual can have it. So these are the things which is exempt from sales. And also sale of resale, sale for resale when a certificate is provided, that is also an exempt transaction, you can say. Now we have seventh question, what is streamlined sales and use tax agreement? So the SSUTA is a multi-state agreement aimed simplifying and standardizing sales and use collection administration across participating state. It seeks to reduce the burden of business and enhance voluntary compliance with state laws. This is something you should give it a read again and again to try to understand this. I'll just go to the next question because it will be lengthy, the video. Now we have eighth question, how do you determine the sales tax rate for a transaction? So every state in US has their own tax rate. It's not like easy to remember all the state rates according to their city. Like uh, in India I would say, like we have state, then we have cities, then we have local. same likewise in US also, we have different states, we have more than 50 states. Then in that state we have different, so many counties. Then in counties there are cities. So based on their jurisdiction, the tax rate is applied. And now we have ninth question: what is tax jurisdiction and why it is important in sales and use tax? So sales and use tax is something which is like different. We have to pay as per the state authorities law, not like US income tax, like where we have a standardized form 1099 1042 in income tax. But in sales tax it's really different, and it's, I would say, it is more critical. And because of we like different provision we have for different jurisdiction. So, a tax jurisdiction refers to a geographic area with the authority to impose and collect taxes. It is important in sales and use tax because different jurisdictions, state, country, city may different tax rate rules impacting the tax rate due on transaction. So this is it. I hope you like this video, and if you want part 2 I will make it. But before going any further, please try to read this as much as possible, because the questions revolves around this only. If you understand this concept, it will be easy for you. Thank you.